Star money drinking gold, we sipping on success. Diamonds make moves, I feel rich, stay fresh. Dating lights flicker, shadows of the best. Click rolling deep, never failing, no test. I'm the man, star money glow. Diamonds dance, watch me show. Click together, never solo. Ohio
Is that you?
slides, let 'em know. OVO nights, heavy on the vibe.
1-5. Is that yours?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his beat. What up,
Yeah,
what
that
up, what up,
motherfucker
what up, what up, what
clean.
up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Brand new intro song. You feel me? The Star Money Click intro song for the show. Every time y'all hear us, y'all gonna hear it come out. We just want to give the exclusive for the Super Bowl weekend, the Super Bowl extravaganza that's coming up tomorrow. Um, Everything I do it on God. Everything we do it on God. When I do it, these two crazy motherfuckers, we do it on God. I am Young Money Bad News, the co-CEO of the Star Money Click, number one rapper in the world, and I am BMC for life. That is 1-5, the other co-owner of Star Money Click. He is also the owner of Punish Me Vodka that sponsors every show we do, and he's the number one producer in the world. That is Jimmy two times, the excited 49er fan and the hopeful Oklahoma Sooner fan every time we do this shit. And he is also my brother from another mother, and we are the On God Podcast. All right, so we're gonna jump right into it. It's a big day tomorrow. Biggest day, one of the biggest days of my life. Actually, the second biggest day of my life in the last probably like 3 weeks or 4 weeks. The first biggest day was the Buckeyes went and played the national championship. Now, my Philadelphia Eagles are facing off against the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl tomorrow. It is on Fox. It is at 6:30. First of all, I'm gonna get the picks from the guys, and then we gonna go in depth on what's the keys to the victories for both teams, and what's the keys to. Actually, we'll just go off of what their picks are and the keys to that. We'll do it that way. Um, 1-5. Who you got? Chiefs or Eagles?
I, man, I want the Eagles to win really bad, so I'm gonna pick the Eagles, man. I'm gonna pick the Eagles.
All
So
right.
here's a little reason why. Some history is on your guys' side. There's never been a team to not create a turnover in the playoffs and win a Super Bowl. The Chiefs have not created any turnovers in the playoffs. So I think that's in your guys' favor right there, history. All right. I think Jalen Hurts is rested. That's in your favor. I think you guys are going to come out Saquon Barkley heavy, wear out that defense that hasn't been tested with any real run threats this year, other than Josh Allen. And man, I think by the fourth quarter, man, they're going to be wore out, and then you're going to hit them with a nice dose of Brown and Smith, man, and your tight end up there, Dallas. And I think you guys are going to. You're going to eke out a victory, man. It's going to be close, but I think you guys are going to win.
Okay. Two times. Who you got and why?
I've been going round and round with this, man, and it's funny. Every last year it was the no team lost to what did you say last year? No team lost to Kirk Cousins, won the Super Bowl, and then we ended up losing to the fucking Chiefs last year. So um, I've been going back and forth with this, man. It's like you don't go against Patrick Mahomes, but the Eagles are a better team. It was like we were a better team last year, but here comes Patrick Mahomes and that bullshit. It's just I want the Eagles to win, even though I can't believe I'm actually saying that with my mouth. You know what I'm saying? Not it's not hate. You just know I love my team and I don't want nobody else to win but us, even though can't seem to do that. Um, I'm gonna stick with the Chiefs, man. I want y'all to win though. I don't like it, man. I don't like it. I think y'all are the better team. So hopefully y'all win. Hopefully I'm wrong. I don't want to see the motherfuckers do anything, man. But the NFL has a funny way of having things happen that nobody can explain, but we all know what happened. But I think the keys to victory, um, if they are going to beat y'all, they're going to have to establish a run, and I don't know how the fuck they're going to do that. Um, they have quality running backs, but it's just like y'all run defense is just too fucking tough, man. And even though y'all have a slight hole in the middle by with your boy out for the game at linebacker, I don't know, man. Like I said, this is gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a good game. I think Jalen Hurts is gonna have another good game against them, man. I think he's probably gonna. I think he's gonna have a better statistics than Patrick Mahomes is gonna have this time around again. Um, like I said, want to see y'all win, but I'm just gonna stick with the Chiefs until I don't want to. I don't. I'm being scary.
You definitely are. I got Philly all day long because I'm a bird gang and I'm fly Eagles fly. Um, the reason why we're gonna win the game, I've done this all year. I'm gonna do this, and it's the same narrative all year. It's been going on all year, and every time they do it, they answer the call. The media has shitted on my team all week. They have definitely shitted on Jalen Hurts all week, questioning what he can do, what he can't do. And every time you shit on Jalen Hurts does what Jalen Hurts does, and that's come out and win the game. We don't give a fuck about no referees. We don't give a fuck about no fans saying that the Chiefs are going to cheat. We don't give a fuck. The Philadelphia Eagle fan base does not care because we know we know one thing about our team, and we've seen it all year. We have the number one offensive line in the NFL. We have the number one defense in the NFL. If you can't stop me from running the ball down your fucking throat, you're not going to beat us. And the crazy thing is, even if you attempt to try to stop us from running the ball, my two receivers and my tight end is going to shit on your secondary. You do not have Snead out there anymore. McDuffie is good, but he does not scare me. Nobody in the Chiefs secondary scares me. The only thing the Chiefs got that really on that defense that even gives you a little bit of fear is Chris Jones. And the last time we played Chris Jones in the Super Bowl, he was a non-factor because of my offensive line. I don't care about none of that shit. If you can't stop us, you can't beat us. I'm not scared of Pat Mahomes. I told y'all this when we first got into this game. I said, this is the second go around. This is the rematch I wanted. Every Eagles fan that's a real Eagles fan asked for the same game. Everybody wanted Buffalo to win. Everybody wanted Baltimore to win. The Eagles fans, we wanted the Chiefs to win. I wanted the Chiefs to get here. Same shit I wanted from Brady when we beat Brady in 2017, the rematch. I don't think the Chiefs can stop us. This defense the Chiefs has, it was better last year. This offense the
Yeah,
Chiefs has. The offense the Chiefs have, yeah, Worthy's good. Worthy's a playmaker. He's a game breaker. But Juju Smith-Schuster don't make me fear at nothing. And DeAndre Hopkins is just he's a possession receiver. He's not a big play guy. He doesn't scare me. Marcus Hollywood Brown, you got to make sure he even catches the ball for him to scare me. He's known for dropping the ball a lot. We can let Travis Kelce ball out and still beat him. That's how good we are this year. The only team that can beat the Philadelphia Eagles in this game is the Philadelphia Eagles. That's it. There's nothing they have over us that I'm worried about. I think if we come out and play our game, just like I said with the Buckeyes, you come out and play your game, bro, you ain't gonna lose because you ain't got enough to stop us, bro. And another thing I want everybody to understand, this is the first time the Kansas City Chiefs are going to see Saquon Barkley. They have never seen him in his whole career. So you can't stop something you've never saw. It's kind of hard to stop something that you ain't never seen. And your run defense is not that great because Mixon damn near ran for 100 on you. And whoever they played after that, if the Buffalo Bills give old boy the ball cooked for the whole game, you don't even beat Buffalo. But you wanted to rely on Josh Allen. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I ain't got no score for it either. You know, I don't do scores. I just know we going to win the game.
I don't got one either.
38-35.
He does.
Right. He always does, though.
Yeah, he got a damn score.
So we got 2 Eagles picks. We got 1 Chiefs pick on the pod today. When y'all look at this and y'all check this out, make sure y'all like and share episode and let us know who y'all picks are for the game tomorrow. I'm gonna jump straight into the NBA trade deadline.
Yeah.
It was a massive one. It was really crazy. I'm gonna name off two of the biggest ones, but I'm gonna also get into some of the things that might shape and reshape how this playoff picture gonna look going forward. Who might win the NBA championship? We're gonna get into a lot of NBA today too as well. Um, the first big trade was Luka. Luka Doncic goes to the LA Lakers for Anthony Davis. Max Kleber was involved in this trade. Markieff Morris, Max Christie, and a first round pick for my Lakers went to Dallas. We get Max Kleber and Markieff Morris and Luka. Uh, when I first seen the trade, I wasn't a happy camper because I know what AD brings to the table. AD is a two-way player. AD is one of the best defensive players in the league, if not top three, with Wemby, Gobert, and him. Basically, in my world, they're the best three I think in the league defensively. But he also is a better scorer than Gobert. But Wemby can score too, so they like 1 and 2 when it comes to that two-way players. At first, I was upset, but then I had to look at how old AD is. AD's 31 years old. AD can't stay healthy all the time, and we're going into the latter. You know, it's where was the Lakers going to go after we lose a 40-year-old LeBron James, or we keep an Anthony Davis there as the future? Where was we really going to go, and who was really going to come join AD? You know, I had to take that in consideration. So then when I seen we got Luka, and the reason why Dallas supposedly traded him was because of him being out of shape and all this bullshit and his off-court antics and what he does when he's not playing basketball, as far as drinking beer and doing shit like that. But
Smoking
remember
cigarettes.
this. Remember this, chat. I want y'all to remember this. The greatest player to ever play the game, after every game, smoked a cigar and drunk a beer. After every game, in the locker room. It's documented. If you go watch The Last Dance, you will see Michael Jordan drinking beers and smoking a cigar with Scottie Pippen and Ron Harper after every game. Shout out to Ron Harper, Ohio native, Dayton native. So don't let that be the reason why a motherfucker get traded. That might be the dumbest shit ever. Not
That
to
shit
mention,
lame.
they made him lose over $100 million trading him because he can't get the max now. He has to get the minor max. But like I was trying to tell two times a couple of days ago, in years to come, he will end up getting the max all the way because we're gonna two deal him. I already know we're gonna double deal him. He's 25 years old. The Lakers, he's the future of the Lakers. He's not going anywhere. They love him. And he's one of them names. You got to think. Luka's one of the top 5 players in the NBA. You don't go get a top 5 player and just playing for a few years and trading. You don't that's not no, you don't do that. So what do y'all think about the trade? And who do y'all think won the trade?
I honestly, I was shocked by this trade and thought I was getting punked. You know how
We
the
all
internet
was.
puts out. You know how the internet puts out those fake
Some
trades.
bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shit. And it'd be getting you every now and again. I thought this was one of them, man. And then I woke up and saw it being reported on some reputable websites and TV shows, and I was like, wow. Uh, AD is probably arguably the best, if not the second best, all around big man in the NBA. But Luka might be the best all around player in basketball right now. So I think you guys got a hell of a trade. He's younger. He can go there and learn how to take care of his body and do some things with LeBron. I think the Lakers won this trade in the long run, but I think the Mavericks won the trade this year.
Me too. I agree. Two times, what you think?
I'm not shocked by the trade, and let me tell you why. Back at one time, one of the greatest players to ever walk the earth in hockey, just got suddenly traded out of nowhere, Wayne Gretzky. And the Edmonton Oilers were a machine. Nobody was beating. They was beating everybody ass in the NHL at the time when me and 1-5 was kids. News you was kids too. You know what I'm saying? And that was the first time I ever realized shit. It don't matter how good you are. Somebody you get traded at any point, no matter what people think. And ever since then, I always felt like in the right situation, even people that don't even know any better can make a stupid ass mistake. And ever since Mark Cuban told that team, Mark Cuban would have never made that deal in the first place. The fact
No.
that he's no longer controlling interest in that team, and the reasoning behind it. Did y'all see Jason Kidd's face that whole interview? That motherfucker looked like he walked in on his mama getting punched in by the mailman,
He
and
couldn't believe it. He could
he
not
was
believe it.
sorry. You could tell his body
Yeah.
language was like, man, I'll quit on y'all motherfuckers right now after this shit.
Yeah.
Cause see, if it don't go right, he gonna be the first one ousted. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I think that was just a disrespect to him because I don't even think he knew. I think they did this shit secretly and until the
Told
last second. And
hold on. Before you go, it was done secretly. You got to understand. My owner was Kobe Bryant's agent. The Dallas Mavericks owner, well, the new manager, the GMs, both GMs for the Lakers and the Mavericks are best friends. One was Kobe's agent, one was Kobe's coordinator for Nike. So they've been like this forever. So this meeting was over the phone. They said it took 3 days. They talked about it for 3 days. On the third day, they pulled the trigger. Nobody knew. Not LeBron, not AD, not nobody, no coaches, none of that shit. So it was a secret meeting, and it secretly happened this way. You can
and, and,
continue. I'm
and
sorry.
see, and no, you're good. That's a tidbit I actually did not know because like I said, there was a lot of speculation out, and I know how you are with your team. You know what I'm saying? Nobody would know better than a fan that's deep in it like you, kind of like me with my 49ers. But um, I agree with 1-5. I think Dallas won it, in the present,
Yeah,
but we
yeah.
don't know in the future because see, this is the one thing a lot of people don't know, especially the young people. Throughout the history of the NBA, the Lakers have always found a way to get somebody's best player, regardless of how you felt about it. Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem, everybody, whether it was a trade or free agency, they always found a way to get one of the best, if not the best player in the league. And the next thing you know, the Lakers are back and they're slapping everybody around again because in the next couple of years, I don't know if y'all seen the free agency list over the next 2 seasons. The Lakers had a plan, and I don't find it odd that these two guys was over talking about something, and the other one probably had an idea, and he was able to convince his friend to send this guy here. And I had this feeling like in the next 3 years, the Lakers gonna be on that shit where it's gonna be Boston and LA for the next to probably 2030 or till one of them falls off, and then that's just what it's gonna be because the NBA prospers when three things are happening: the Lakers, the Celtics, and the Knicks are whooping ass. And what do we got right now? 2 out of 3, 2.5. So basically, it's going to be all three of these some bitches back like it was in the 80s and the late 70s for the most part. Of these teams actually doing what they got to do. So I give it an A on the Lakers side I for basically just stealing Luca and a, a, a a present A, but an end up D minus in the future because you might have set the Mavericks back several years because AD is 31, like you said. He's more towards the end of his prime than he is the beginning, and he can't stay healthy. That's why Charles Barkley calls him street clothes Davis. And all it takes is an injury here, and next thing you know, they're back in the lottery guessing again. So kudos to the Lakers. You did what a lot of teams couldn't do and what you always do. And I ain't even hating. Like I said, the Lakers do what they had to do. This is the move you make when you know that you almost done with LeBron.
Well, this is what I'm gonna say too. I don't know if a lot of people know this too. We are on a 7-game win streak right now, or 6 or 7.
Yeah,
We've
y'all been
been
beating
rolling.
ass.
We've been rolling, and it started when we actually beat the Knicks without AD. You know what I'm saying? We are actually fourth. We either fourth or fifth in the West right now. Normally, we're in the play-in for the whole fucking year. So I will say, so far, JJ Redick, we started off fast, then we kind of fell in the middle of the pack, and now we starting to go back to where we was when we started. So I got to give JJ Redick a little credit for that. But we'll see how we finish. Like I told you, it's championship or bust for me when it comes to the Lakers anymore because I don't. The little playoff shit don't mean nothing to me no more. It just doesn't. I don't care. You know what I'm saying?
An underrated trade that you guys made to fill the shoes of AD
I'm
was
not finished. I'm not finished.
That's why I didn't mention that.
I
That's why
got
I
you.
didn't mention that.
I got you. I got you.
That's
We're
why I
gonna
stopped
go
where I
there.
stopped.
A15. We're gonna go everywhere on
Hey,
NBA.
wait to be the
We're
one
about to
fan, but
go.
that's why I stopped saying what I
We're gonna
said.
go NBA. We're
right.
about to go NBA for a while. Don't trip. We got a whole another damn near 40 minutes of NBA. So
Okay.
I'm gonna go to the next trade. I just want to knock the first two big ones out, and then we'll get into those other ones. Jimmy Butler, finally, the Golden State Warriors pulled the trigger on Jimmy Butler. Um, Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, Dennis Schroeder is all involved. Wiggins and Anderson stay at Miami. Anderson was going to get shipped at first, but Miami decided to keep Kyle Anderson.
Too much money.
Schroeder ended up in Detroit. Um, but Jimmy Butler ends up in Golden State. But I'm gonna tell y'all this: it was this close to KD being with the Warriors again until
Yeah.
KD told Phoenix, "I don't want to go back to the Warriors." So it was this close. It was either going to be KD for Jimmy Butler, and Jimmy Butler was going to end up in Phoenix, and KD was going to end up in Golden State. And then at the last minute, the Golden State Warriors changed their mind because KD changed his, and they ended up pulling the trigger for Golden State to get Jimmy Butler from Miami. Um, I don't know. I really don't know how to feel about this trade because he's 35 years old, but he's not 35, and he's not. I put like this about Jimmy Butler: he's not 35 and plays like he's 35. He's
Right.
35 and plays like he's still in great game shape. You know, he prepares himself very well for the season. He always, he might get injured here and there, but he's not really super injury prone. I don't really know. I guess we could say he's what they need as a closer during the game when it comes to if they make it to the playoffs, because they're in the play-in right now as usual. They damn near in the 10th or 11th spot. So, but I
They're on the
think,
cusp. They're on the cusp of
yeah,
not being there.
yeah, I think Jimmy is more of a playoff move more than a season, but he did get the extension. So they gave him a 2-year extension to stay for 121. So they're going to keep him beyond this year and next year. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I
They
mean,
call playoff Jimmy for a reason.
and I can I say Miami won the trade for real? Andrew Wiggins he's okay. I mean, he hasn't played good since the year they went to the finals. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
He's actually having a decent season. But
He
I
is
will
this
say
year,
this:
but
I see what my team was trying to do. We like to play defense, and we went and got two defensive guys. One we're going to talk about here in a few minutes, but the one in this trade, Wiggins is a good on ball defender, especially with the bigger guards, and I like that. And I think he fits in for what we does because, like I said, he's an efficient scorer, but he don't have to be what he was in Golden State anymore. Because, like I said, we got Hero and we got Bam and we got other scorers on that team, so we can spread the scoring around. We really need him to play more defense than anything. So I think a change of scenery and everything else. I like the trade on our end. I'm going to give it a B plus because I feel like from what I've been hearing, you could have flipped some things and probably stole KD from Phoenix with the shit that you got and the shit that you had, especially with draft picks. I don't think they tried hard enough, but I get it. In the landscape of things, you don't want to do too much and then it sets your franchise back. You know, KD's playing at a very um, KD level, but I feel like also we're a very young team. We got a lot of young talent on that team. You don't want to give away something that hasn't blossomed yet. Because remember, about a year or two ago, everybody wanted Hero to get traded, and now he's an all-star. So you don't want to go too early, and then you give somebody something that ends up being their everything. You know, but I like the trade. I thought it was the best it was. You know, I'm not mad at Jimmy and still love Jimmy. One day, the 22 is going to be sitting up in our Raptors. Two finals appearances, a third NBA Eastern Conference Finals appearance. He did everything he could, but we peaked. That was the best we could do with Jimmy. And he wasn't happy here anymore. And you don't want to keep somebody somewhere they don't want to be. You know, he was doing some fuck shit too. I will admit that. Leaving him on the tarmac, waiting for 3 hours, and 1 minute he want to play it, and he at last second, he was doing everything he could to get out of there. But I think he could have handled it with a little more class. But I think we want to trade for right now, and I actually think we probably want to trade in the future because we don't know what playoff Jimmy will look like at the end of that contract when he gets 52 million and he's looking like he should be on the another sequel of Cocoon.
What you think, 1-5?
Honestly, I think Butler is ready to go, man. So get rid of him while you can. Get some stuff in return and just move on, man.
I think it took too long, though.
It took way
It did.
Just for this? Like, just for
Yeah, you could have got this earlier this year. You could have got this early in the year.
Come on, man.
way earlier.
But I understood why. He wanted to go to Phoenix. His destination was Phoenix. But the problem was
Bill was fucking it up.
Bill was fucking it up, but Phoenix, Golden State was not going to let KD go to Miami.
Yeah.
What was going to happen was Miami was going to end up with Bill. But Bill took he didn't want to take his no trade clause now. He wanted to keep it, which is weird to me because my thing is this. If a motherfucker trying to trade you, why the fuck do you want to stay somewhere where they don't want you? That just don't make no sense to me. So I mean, but that's what he did. He's still there.
I think he was feeling disrespected by that, and he didn't want to give them the power to just send him where they wanted to send him. I think he wanted to stand pat, and I get that. He may not even want to move around a lot too. Sometimes people don't do all that fucking traveling and shit.
I figured that's what it was. So Dennis Schroeder moves to the Pistons after he had got moved to the Jazz because the Jazz was a part of this trade too. But he ended up in the Pistons, so we'll see how that works out. He actually didn't end up somewhere bad because the Pistons are not a bad team this year.
That's a good pickup.
I know it is. They on the come up. The other biggest trade happened. De'Aaron Fox went to the Spurs for Zach LaVine to go to Sacramento, where Chicago gets involved too. I think it's a big move for Wemby. He needed somebody to be a scorer and a playmaker, even though they have pieces. The thing that San Antonio pulled off that motherfuckers don't understand is a lot of their key players that ball out on that team, they didn't move them. They got to keep them. And I think it's because the NBA ain't been on notice because the NBA ain't been getting – the Spurs don't get enough coverage on TV for people to really realize who they have. But when I watched them play, I want to say it was Denver. When I watched them play Denver, I said, San Antonio low-key got a squad. Like these boys.
With Vassell and Castle and the one dude Sockin, Jeremy Sockin, they got some nice little pieces, man.
They can play.
Yeah.
And then you got Wemby out there, and then you got Chris Paul being Chris Paul still being the veteran savvy point guard where De'Aaron Fox now for real can play the two. He can move over. He doesn't have to just play the one because he's really a scorer. He's not really a facilitator. That's not his game. But I think it's a win for the Spurs. I don't think it's a win for the Kings because you basically just put the same Bulls team on Sacramento.
You just need bullshit. You just need bullshit. You know what? Sacramento
again. But I'm gonna hold on. But wait, but Doug Christie got them balling.
Yeah.
Doug Christie took over. They have not really been losing no games. So I can't give them that.
I will say this. With the De'Aaron Fox trade, man, because there's a lot of finger pointing on who got Mike Brown fired, Blase Skippy, they want to say it's De'Aaron Fox. I'm not really sure if that was the case. There's been video footage of him interacting with Mike Brown, and the body language looked like, I ain't really fucking with you. And then some of the things that Mike Brown was saying, the next thing you know, he gets fired the same day. So there's a lot of mystery things going on. And I don't really want to play the finger pointing game. What I really want to talk about is the fact that in 8 years, De'Aaron Fox is a very, very good player, but he's not the player that you need. Like, he doesn't fit that, what I call the Kevin Garnett formula, where you're on a bad team and you're that guy and you can drag your team to the playoffs with just enough pieces to get in there. He's not that type of player. I think De'Aaron Fox is going to excel because, like you said, he's going to be playing, I think, in a much better position, probably the off-ball position, 2-guard spot, where he can actually score and maybe facilitate when when Paul ain't on the court. But I just think he just Sacramento just one of those organizations, man. They're like the old Detroit Lions, the current Browns, and other teams that they're just in the league holding good players until they don't got them anymore. You know, holding fans hostage with $9 beers and $12 hot dogs for them not to do shit. You mean you extend Mike Brown? He wins Coach of the Year. He has y'all trending, and the season's young, and you just fire him like fuck it. You know what I mean? It's just I don't know. Like I said, I just really
he lost the team. The reports was he lost the team. And you know when you lose your team and they're not on the same page with you, you got two options. You either trade the best player or you fire the coach.
they did both.
They wasn't trading the best player at that time because they wanted to make sure they could set up for a trade. Behind the scenes, what you don't know is the real reason why Sacramento couldn't keep De'Aaron Fox, because De'Aaron Fox was up for the max. And Sacramento doesn't have the money. Their market is too small to afford him. It's just like San Antonio. Even though San Antonio got De'Aaron Fox, it's going to be hard to pay Wemby the max when it's time for him to be up, because the market in San Antonio is like Milwaukee, like Sacramento. You know, it's really small, and small market teams, that's why you can't pay them. So I would not be surprised. You know, Wemby is a Spurs now, but I wouldn't be surprised in the future Wemby does not a Spurs when he gets a little older, because when he's due for that money, it just depends on how much money that city can afford to keep him. Because De'Aaron Fox he's an all pro, so he's playing all NBA ball, and they're gonna have to pay him too. He's gonna be up soon again. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
one thing I did notice, their CBA is up in 2030, and one thing that they're fighting for right now to renegotiate is how that money is distributed. So in 5 years, which that's close to about the time Wemby's going to be up for a contract, 3, 4, 5 years. They may have the money to pay him because of how the revenue has changed, how they're distributing out the revenue. Yeah, you never know. I mean, but that is a great point. That is a great point because, like I said, I hope that doesn't happen because what does that say about these small market teams? You're just a farm team. Like it's the same problem that Major League Baseball has. You know what I mean?
So the next trade that came up, Chris Middleton finally is shipped out of Milwaukee for Kyle Kuzma. I really think this was a lateral move.
Hell yeah.
Kyle Kuzma is Kyle Kuzma. I don't even think Kyle Kuzma is better than Chris Middleton. But Chris Middleton, since the injuries that he went through, he has not been the same player. And it's really unfortunate because Chris Middleton was an all-star the year before he got hurt, and he was about to be on that echelon where we was looking at him and Giannis like they was going to be one of the 1-2 combos for years to come. But
that torn ACL fucked everything up.
Injuries fucked him up, and he ain't been the same. So that's one of the trades that happened. Brandon Ingram finally got out of New Orleans, but this was not a move for him to stay in Toronto. He got shipped to Toronto for Bruce Brown and Kelly Olynyk. But this was a move so when Brandon Ingram come up after this season, he will be a free agent to go wherever the fuck he wants to go. So be on the lookout for BI. BI, if you want to come back to LA, we would love to have you back. We had to lose you.
Yeah, but that wouldn't shock me.
We had to lose you because of LeBron, but I don't really. You know how I feel about a 40-year-old motherfucker on my team now. I really don't give a fuck. You can come on back and be the second option. I would love for you to play with Luka. It would be nice.
Hey, tell you LeBron, I don't think you want it on your team.
It would be nice. It would be so nice. So that was a big move. The Lakers. Now, 1-5 was alluding to this trade, and I had to stop him because I knew he was going to talk about it. So that's why I wanted to hold him off so we can have a conversation. Mark Williams gets traded for Dalton Knecht and Cam Reddish. Now, me being a Laker, when I first seen it, I was not happy about this trade either. And I'm going to tell you why. But then I had to do my research on Mark Williams and how old Mark Williams is and what he really is. Mark Williams is the big man from Duke. At Duke, he was just a straight dunker. But in the NBA, he has been a lob catcher and a defender, and he's been really good in Charlotte. But just like De'Aaron Fox, just like the San Antonio Spurs, you don't see him a lot on TV. You don't see Charlotte on TV a lot. So you didn't know Mark Williams was who Mark Williams is.
Right.
Now, I am not happy about losing Dalton Connect because I feel like Dalton Connect was a pure shooter that the Lakers have been missing for years. We have not had a three-point ball that just where a guy can just pull it. Cam Reddish is the same shit. Cam Reddish is a shooter. So I had to give up 2 shooters for a big man. Now, going forward for the future, it's a good move because Luka is known to do what? He likes to throw lobs. So that fits our game plan. So part of me, I give us a B for the move. But when I first seen it, I almost gave us an F. But then I had to research Mark Williams, and now I'm like, okay, he's 23, he's young. We got time to grow. Him and Luka gonna grow together. I'm good with that. I can't wait to see who will be that second option with Luka as a scorer after LeBron is gone. I can't wait to see who it's gonna be. 1-5, you alluded to the trade first, so I'll let you tap into how you felt about it and what you think about it.
I thought you got a solid replacement, man. This kid is scoring 16 a game, 10 rebounds on average, right? If you round up, 15 and some change, 9 and some change. All right. So you got somebody solid in there that can do the job, plus play defense. He's younger than AD, and he's got room to grow. You know what I mean? So I think those numbers are going to be inflated in LA. I think you'll see a 2010 guy. I think he can give you an extra 5 points. You know, he's not going to do that every night, but there's nights he can stay. He'll be able to step up for you guys. He's got that Duke pedigree. So he played in a system that, it was a team first system. All right. So he's going to be a great teammate. And I just think this is a hell of a trade for you guys, man. I agree with you. You lost a couple good shooters, and you never want to lose 2. I mean, if I was you guys, I would have tried everything I could do to keep Connect and maybe let Cam Reddish go because he's a little older.
But you know what? I don't think Charlotte was going to go. I don't think they were going to give him because they're the same age. You got to understand. Dalton Connect is 23 and Mark Williams is 23. So you basically that's how they look. Like we're going to swap for 2 young but see, Mark Williams ain't a rookie, but he's the age of a rookie still. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I like the trade a lot, man. I think you guys got a really good player to fill the void. Because let's be honest, Luka Doncic and AD numbers wise are almost identical. You know what I mean? Their stats are almost identical. So you just traded a more healthy player and a younger player. And then you got this big guy that can do big things if needed. So I think this is a solid trade, man. This is a solid dude. He'll give you what you need. You know what I mean? He's not going to go overboard and score, 50, 60 points, like AD was capable of doing. But he'll get you 20, 25 on a given night, and he'll get you double-digit rebounds every night. And that's, he plays defense, man. I think that's for you guys.
Yeah. So I'm about to move around the NBA, and I'm gonna throw out these. There's a lot of movement. Some of the names you're gonna know, but I'm gonna really just name the key people that got moved. That's gonna, and then we're gonna fluctuate. We're gonna talk about after I go over these names. We're gonna talk about how we looking at the NBA right now. Who we think the teams are that might win the championship now. Because remember, if y'all don't know and y'all didn't follow us, or if y'all just start following us in the summertime, we gave y'all names of the teams we thought that when the season started, this might be a contender to win the title, or this might be a contender to go to the playoffs. So I'm going to go over some names. The Memphis Grizzlies get Marvin Bagley for Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart has been on the move for the last 3 years. I kind of feel bad for Marcus Smart, man, because the main thing that made me feel bad for him is he never got to win that title in Boston, and he was in Boston for all those years. And when they moved on from him, they get a championship, but they don't get it with him. So it's kind of fucked up. It's like everybody was still there but Marcus Smart from that team that he was on. Marvin Bagley is a good player pickup for the Memphis Grizzlies. The Grizzlies are a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Jaren Jackson Jr. is really a problem. He's a first-time All-Star, but that boy is he's on a mission. The Atlanta Hawks made some big moves. They got Terrence Mann from the Clippers. Terrence Mann is a bad motherfucker. Of course, the Clippers picked up our boy 2 times, but Yanovich is on the move again.
Man, Bogdanovich again.
That motherfucker get traded every goddamn year,
Him
man.
and his brother cannot. They might as well not just rent apartments because you ain't staying where you at, bro.
They need to stay in a hotel.
Hey, hey, just get him a camper. Just get a camper and just ride around like John Madden and shit.
The Hawks get Bones Highland too, but the thing the Clippers did get was they got 3 first-round picks from the Hawks. Atlanta also went to Cleveland and got Karis LeVert. They got George Niang. They also got 3 first-round picks and 2 future pick swaps. Cleveland got DeAndre Hunter. DeAndre Hunter's a bad motherfucker. If y'all ain't watched the Hawks, so what Atlanta and Cleveland did was made each other better for real. Atlanta really made themselves better because Trae Young ain't had shit around him. And I think they finally starting to realize the year that he's having and how good he's playing, I think they're finally investing in, you know what? Let's go get him some real help, bro, because the boy can play. Trae Young.
Yeah, when they signed those boy from Utah, man, that was a lateral movement last season. John, what's his name?
John, I know you talking about.
Yeah,
The one that could dunk. He could jump out the gym.
yeah, that's all he do.
But he can't shoot for shit.
Can't shoot to save his fucking life.
No, but Atlanta, like I said, Atlanta is making moves now to finally show Trae Young that they believe in him, and I believe in Trae Young because Trae Young has not been a bad player since he got to the NBA. I mean, he's
from the moment he been there.
And for real, him and LaMelo Ball this year got the worst snub of the All-Star game ever to me. I thought it was some bullshit that they didn't make the All-Star game. I'm gonna throw out these names that also these were other moves. Valanciunas finally got moved. He went to the Kings. So him next to Sabonis gonna be a big move. That's a big win transition. Yeah. That's nice.
I thought y'all was doing a trade for him or Robert Williams in Portland.
I thought he was too, but I'll take Mark Williams because he's younger.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Another man that's like Bogdanovich, he keep getting moved around. Reggie Jackson just went to the Wizards. Reggie Jackson, we gonna pray for you, brother. You Bobby Shmurda Jr., your ass get moved every fucking year too. Daniel Tice that used to play for the Celtics, he went to the Thunder. So they actually filled that void of losing, Chet is hurt. So now your boy, what's your
No, he came back last night.
Right, but what's the center's name from New York that went there?
Fuck.
They basically got a 3-man rotation at center now.
Yeah.
Chet ain't gonna have to do so much of the work. The load. Kenyon Martin's son, KJ Martin, went to the Jazz. So finally, KJ Martin is probably gonna get him a opportunity to actually show his talent because the boy actually can play. In Philly, they've been fucking him over, man. Like and so I'm happy for Kenyon Martin and his son. Caleb Martin got moved to the Mavs. Me and 2 times was working that day when we found that out. It's kind of a lateral move. Caleb Martin ain't been shit since he left Miami, so we'll see what he does in Dallas. His best years was in Miami. PJ Tucker is another one that's been moved 100 times. He's back to the Raptors.
He was supposed to come to us, and then we shipped his ass. He was supposed to come to us, and then he had to reroute his ass.
My thing with PJ Tucker is I gotta respect PJ Tucker for this. He really doesn't. Excuse me. He really doesn't do anything in the NBA no more. Like he really doesn't. But for some reason, he's like the Adonis Haslam of the NBA now. He just makes sure he stays on the NBA team, bro. Like he stays on a roster. But he's a vet. Like he could have been retired. He's got his ring. He has nothing really to play for no more. You know what I'm saying? I guess he just like money. Plus he like playing basketball. But
you know who he is? He's like the Tom Tupa of NBA. Just been on the roster for 1,000 years. He hit a ring. And Michael was like,
and then the biggest final move was Nurkic. Phoenix finally got Nurkic ass up out of Phoenix and sent him to Charlotte. So Mark Williams goes to us. The Hornets collect Nurkic from Phoenix, And that's like really the biggest moves that happen in the NBA.
You missed one. You missed one. We got Davion Mitchell
I
from
I I
what you call it.
I forgot to say that. I did forgot to write that down.
All
Y'all
right.
did get Davion Mitchell from
I love that move. I love that move. He's very unsung.
Yeah.
um
You see the big wave? I guess it's not big, but the Nets wave big Ben Simmons.
yeah. They
Oh
traded
yeah,
him.
that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
he gonna lose some. He gonna lose some other teams like
that
now.
guy's got the biggest case of the yips of all time.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Ben Simmons was not playing bad this year.
No, he wasn't.
So
He
so
just
when I'm a,
He
so I'm
was,
gonna tell you what's gonna happen. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. A contender gonna get Ben Simmons,
they
and they're
said
gonna get
either
him.
Cleveland or Clippers.
yeah, they
They're
were
gonna
saying,
get him for. They're gonna get him for a cheap ass price too,
yep,
A bag of Mike Sells potato chips because they are delicious.
they
and
are.
a pop, and a sun
A
kissed.
Fago. He's making a Fago and a motherfucker one single black.
So I
Motherfucker,
got a question. Hey man, I told you about that black shit. Shut your ass up, man. uh, so my question to the guys is: now that we see the movement, the rotation in the NBA, I'm gonna ask both of y'all. Um, who do y'all feel like is your favorites now to win the title, and also who do you feel like is on the come up, if not now, in the future is going to be somebody we should look out for as far as a team?
Um, it's still Boston. Um, who looks? I would be honest with you. It didn't at first until the shit happened. But you never know what this Laker team gonna look like now. They was already winning, and they didn't lose nothing super crucial. They actually replaced the situation. It's almost like you took off an old tire and put a brand new tire on. It's just the same make. Because like 1 5 said, this kid, I've been watching. You know me. I watch a lot of them bullshit ass NBA games. So I already knew who Bucky was. When I seen him get traded, I said, "And here come the Los Angeles Lakers" in my Brent Musburger voice. So it was just like it's still Boston. LA's still a scary team. Um, and I got a surprise thing to say. I had this feeling like Golden State ain't gonna make the playoffs even with the Jimmy Butler trade. I think it's a little too late. I think other teams in the West got better, and the teams that they have to get over past just to even get into the play-in, yeah, so we'll see where that goes. You know what I mean? Because Golden State, I don't know if people realize, Golden State been having a lot of little minor injuries. Every other night, Curry or Draymond been out the game, and it's like,
Yeah.
right now, if they were gonna make this trade, they should have did this about, like you said, 3-4 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, to see where they was gonna go in. Because see, now once you've done it, there's no other moves you can make. The trading door is now closed for the season, so they might fuck around and lose money off of this. And now you got exactly 2 years to figure out if this fuck shit's gonna work in Golden State. But still, Boston and LA is now the scary team in the room.
Well, Fab, who you got? Who you think?
all right, so this is just based on the trades, right? So I think the Cavs did a wonderful job with adding a piece that they needed. I think the Hawks did a great job with the piece they needed. I think Sacramento did a great job adding DeAndre Fox, a missing piece that they needed. I think the Lakers and the Mavs with the superstar switch was the big splash, and I think the Lakers are the team to watch in the future, but I think the Cavaliers are the team to watch now.
Okay. Um, I'm gonna agree with. I watched Boston and Cleveland the other night.
Mm.
And this is before Cleveland made the move that they made to get Hunter from Atlanta. Um, I felt like I was watching a big brother beat up on a little brother.
Yeah.
Boston is still Boston, where it's like they get kind of like how every championship team does, where you get kind of bored during the season. So you'll drop some games to teams that they be like, you shouldn't have lost to them. Because I mean, it's just like my Lakers when we went back to back with Kobe in 09 and 2010. I remember 09, we was on a mission because we lost to Boston in 08. And I remember when we wanted to repeat, I remember in 2010, The journey was a little different because we would drop games to teams and I would be like, how the fuck we lose to them last night? But I got it. We was bored. We was you know, when you're at a level of here, you only really want to play playoff basketball and beyond. You don't really give a fuck about the regular season when you know you're a playoff contender or a championship contender.
You get
Now,
complacent.
yeah, so Cleveland, I agree with you 1-5 about Cleveland's move, but my thing about Cleveland is this. This is what I'm scared of for Cleveland. You know how in the history of basketball, and really like the history of sports, but really basketball, because basketball always has that break at the All-Star break, where a team that started out real hot, when the All-Star break hit, sometimes when they cross over into the second half of the year, they go on a slump. And I'm hoping for Cleveland's sake, because I like their team. They're really good. I
Yeah.
hope they don't fall off of
Right.
their roll because you know how they're rolling right now. But I'm gonna say the same shit about the Thunder too. The
That's what I
Thunder
was
are hot,
under is that
but
team.
you can get over on that other side and be like, but you got to understand too. I kind of got more faith in the Thunder than I do Cleveland because we watched the Thunder do this shit last year. They was the number one seed last year. So I won't be surprised. Who I really think is an up and comer though, I'm gonna say three teams that I really think are the up and comers. I still think Boston is the favorite. I will say that. That's me. But my Lakers are up and coming. I believe San Antonio is up and coming, and I'm going to have to go with I'm definitely going to have to go with Atlanta. The shit they did. I mean, they finally showed Trey Young that they're serious because man, we for
They just
years,
reshaped
bro,
their whole roster.
yeah, for years we would watch Trey Young and them get to the playoffs, and
They
they
get
might knock
shitted
out,
on.
but they might get shitted on, but they also might knock out somebody in the first round, and then they can't win no more. So
Mhm.
I'm hoping that now Trey Young gets help where if he makes it to the playoffs now, maybe he takes another step and another step. Because some guys like LaMelo Ball is too fucking talented not to be in the playoffs. I mean, he's must see basketball. You know what
He's got to
I'm
get out of
saying? And I
Charlotte.
want to, yeah, he's got to, but that money is the money's too good for him. Where he's got his max. So we'll see what he does when he's up again for another deal if he's gonna walk. I hope he walks. But you never know. He might do what the other Melo did and said, fuck it, I play for money. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see when it
Shit,
comes to
they
that.
extended his brother. They extended his brother in Chicago the other day. 2 years, 20 million.
I mean, they kind of didn't have no choice. They lost Levine, they lost DeRozan, they ain't got shit else out there.
He's
And
actually
besides
he's
Kobe,
actually not playing bad for not playing for the last 27 years.
which is I'm not surprised. He was playing good before he got hurt. So it ain't
Yeah,
like he
he
wasn't
was a
playing good.
quality player. He just couldn't fucking stay healthy because of his. They said it because of his work ethic and how he trained. It was eventually gonna come to a head and start causing injuries that he was getting.
Yeah,
Those
so
those
we
those
got
those,
our
those, those soft muscle injuries.
right.
Yeah.
So we got our NBA in for you guys. We went over the trade deadline. We also went over our Super Bowl picks. We about to get into our side notes so we all can get out of here and get to our days and see what everybody got going on. I got a big day today. I got a big night tonight too. I want to shout out to I gotta give a shout out to Teef, my brother. Shout out to Teef. I went to go see Juice play yesterday for Centerville. Juice got a lot of promise in his game. I told nephew keep working. You gonna get there. He's only a freshman, but he looked good. Me and Teef wrapped it up about that shit yesterday. Shout out to Juice and shout out to my bro Teef. Also, we about to get in our side notes. I want to give a shout out to tomorrow. His birthday party's tonight. We'll be at Reserve at Third. Come holler at us. I'm gonna come fuck with bro. Um, I just want to let everybody know, give a shout out to my homie. He my king, me brother. So we started rap. We started music shit together. He was one of the first people to ever believe in what I do as far as being a musician. So I gotta show him praise. Side notes for the day. I'm gonna go with Jimmy 2 times first. What is your side note, Mr. 2 times?
I got two quick ones. It's a condolences and a prayers. First is I'd like to give condolences to Dick Duran's family. He died at the age of 74. He used to coach the
Mhm.
Bears and the Bills. He also used to be a former player. He was drafted in '73 by the Lions and ended up with your 1-5's Bengals to close out his career. Um, the last time he was successful, he had a 13-3 record with the Bears, and they actually made the playoffs. One of their better teams on this side of the millennium. So I'd like to give a shout out to his family and say rest in peace. And then, real quick, former Nick guard Nate Robinson, he just had successful transplant surgery for his kidney. So I'm really happy because if I don't know if y'all saw his story about a year or so ago, he was having issues, but they said
Yeah.
he was having problems with it during his playing career, and they just progressed all the way down to the bottom. And luckily, he found a donor. So I'm very happy that he found a successful donor, and he's recovering quite well. So shout out to him, and we hope
Yeah,
to
shout out to
see
Nate Robinson.
how everything
Cause
works out for you here.
he was not looking good. I seen him.
Man, he was looking bad, man. It was
he
looking
was looking
bad.
like death. So shout out to Nate Robinson. I'm happy you got your transplant, and I hope people that because I got family members that had dialysis that never got them, and God
Yeah.
rest all my family members' soul. But if you can get it, man, that's a blessing, man. That's a blessing. 1-5. What is your side note for today?
Well, I wanted to touch a little bit about the MLB ump that was sharing a gambling account with a professional poker player. He was fired yesterday and relieved of his duties of umping. I'm trying to find his name here because it escapes me because he's an ump of all people. You know what I mean? We don't really.
You never want to hear that shit when a referee or an umpire or an official come into play because now people will be looking like, see what I told you?
Where I'm going with that is this did not give the NFL, the NBA, or Major League Baseball any kind of leeway when it comes to betting. If you can touch an umpire or a referee, that means your fans ain't as stupid as the media portrays them to be, because you know what? This guy right here was cheating and he's in charge of the cause of the game. So what makes us think that there's others out there also not affecting the ends of games? We have seen crucial calls get missed. We have seen games where the point spread was either made because of a bad call or missed because of a bad call. Now, we don't know if that referee was on the take or not, but this is gambling in sports, man. I love it. I've made a little bit of money on it this year. I've lost a little bit of money on it this year on certain games, but it adds a little bit of fun to it. But at the end of the day, man, we got to really vet these guys that are in charge of the cause of the game. And with that, I think we need to be able to challenge non-calls. I know it might make the game a little longer, but at least have a double take on that with somebody back at New York who's probably not on the take. You know what I mean? You gotta police yourself on this, NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, and firing somebody after the fact is not the way to do it. If you're noticing that somebody's missing calls or they're doing this consistently, you need to address that a lot sooner. And by doing that, it's double. You're sending it upstairs. If like for example, my boy, got the face mask because he was trying to throw a game-winning 2-point conversion against somebody who wasn't called. That happened a couple times. Some holdings that may have been the outcome of a game that gets kicked upstairs, man. Let somebody else decide that may or may not be. You know what I mean? But there's got to be something done with this in professional sports, or else your whole legitimacy as a professional sports league is just down the tubes.
You see, my
Yeah,
point guard, Scary Terry, is under investigation for possible shit he did in 2023. So, saying this shit, see,
oh,
it's just
it's worse than that. They've connected 3 black colleges to it too. So it's a big ass gambling ring going on. But I agree with you. They need to come up with something.
Yeah.
My side note is I want to give a shout out to Asia Wilson. One of the biggest WNBA players has finally got her a signature shoe, and out of all NBA, WNBA players in the history of basketball, I kind of got a feeling Asia Wilson is going to be one of those ones that she's going to sell a lot of shoes. Like I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah.
girls are going to be wearing her shit. So I want to give a shout out to her, and I also want to give a I just want to I want to say like I said earlier in the summer, I'm proud of what the WNBA is doing. They're making their brand and they're making their league bigger and bigger every day. I'm in shock on how it's went because we grew up watching this shit and it was only big when the Comets was playing, and then when the Comets stopped winning, it was like then the Lynx started winning and it got big again, and then once the Lynx stopped winning again, it just went and now it's like it's to this I think it's to this point now where the WNBA has finally put their stamp in the world where they're not going nowhere, and I'm happy for them. I applaud them. I'm really proud of them. I got to give them they due.
Because they're expanding now. They're expanding teams too.
Yeah, I know. So I also want to say fly Eagles fly, go bird gang all day long. We will be in the bowl tomorrow. It's gonna be a big day. I'm gonna leave like I always leave. Everything I do it on God. Everything we do it on God. And when I do it with these two crazy motherfuckers, we do it on God. I am Young Money Bad News, the co-CEO of the Star Money Click, the number one rapper in the world, and I am BMC for life. That is 1-5, the owner of Punish Me Vodka, the number one producer in the world, and my brother, and he's also the other co-CEO of the Star Money Click. That is Jimmy two times, the excited 49ers fan and the hopeful Oklahoma Sooner fan, and my brother from another mother. We are the On God Podcast. Y'all stay prayed up. Y'all enjoy y'all day. Go Birds. Fly Eagles fly. The Super Bowl is tomorrow. Y'all enjoy y'all night. We out.
Peace.
Assalamu alaikum, baby.
Bad news in the booth, speaking truth from 10. Mic check 1-5, bringing heat to game frame. Jimmy two times on the left, catching schemes. Podcast waves, strictly coded, breaking beams. On God podcast, echoes through the night. Bad news 1-5, Jimmy said it, Mike the light. Talk that talk, walk that walk, get it tight. Voices of the real, shedding dark with insight. Pulse of the streets, lifeline at each track. 1-5 narratives, speak a single.